Hey everyone, my name is Pranjal and welcome back to YSO. Today I'll be introducing you to Python, my favorite and the easiest coding language. Alright, so today, first I'll be going over the importance of coding, then we can learn some topics like data types, print statements and variables, and then finally you can try it yourself. Let's get into it. Alright, why would you choose coding? Well, coding provides you with countless opportunities for career growth. We all know that it's a field that is advancing every day, whether it be AI or cybersecurity. And there's definitely a demand for skilled programmers. And here I have national average salaries for each field in coding itself. It's a very versatile field, and cloud engineers make the highest of 120K annually, and data analysts make the least of national average of 76K. This is not even half of what streams or pathways there are after you learn how to code. It's humongous, it's numerous. Alright, now let's get into data types. We have a lot of data types in Python or any coding language, but these are the main ones. First, we have the string. String are characters, they're words. When you talk, everything is kind of like in quotations. For example, what? It's going to be surrounded into quotations. And that's what makes strings different from integers and float, or booleans. It is not, the other data types do not have quotations around them. Now, let's move on to integers. Integers are basically whole numbers. That's it. Next one is float. Float, they're numbers with decimals. They store a little more memory because they have decimals in them than integers. Next, we have booleans. Booleans are true or false statements. True or false, that's it. Arrays are lists. They're lists of every data type mixed together. And there's different types of arrays too, like dictionary and tuples and lists. And don't worry, we'll learn how to use these data types. Alright, next we're going to use print statement. And for that, I'll be using Visual Studio Code. This is an application which I use for all of my projects and assignments. You can go on Google and search up Programmiz Python compiler online. It is pretty reliable. I hope you're ready to write your first line of code. We're going to start with print. And then we're going to write a string here. So let's write hello world. That's it. Now what a print statement does is it's going to output hello world, the string, into your terminal. So let's run it. And down at the bottom here, you can see that it prints hello world. That's it. That's the key function of printing. Now, we can print different types of data types too. Like, let's type number 6. Let's run it. And we have hello world and number 6. That's it. And let's make sure that we understand that this here is an integer while this is a string. Well, now you know that print statements are pretty easy. But we're going to use them to concatenate. That's a vocab to learn for today. It's basically putting two or more inputs together. For example, you get a lemon, you get some water, and you get sugar, and you make lemonade. That's it. Lemon, water, and sugar are your inputs, while the lemonade is the output. Alright, so there are two ways you can concatenate a string or an integer, right? You can start with print, always start with print, and then we can say, what if you want to add two numbers? Well, you can just 6 plus 6. That's it. You run it, and you get 12. Now you can even do 6 divided by 6, and boom, it works. However, what if you want to join a string with an integer? You want your sentence, you want the output to be I ate 3 bananas. That's what you want your output to be. What are you going to do now? Well, your first instinct is going to be I ate, and then plus 3 plus bananas. Now let's run it. Well, it runs into an error. Type error. You cannot combine two data types with an addition. Python made it easier, and it made it able to use commas instead. So now when I use a comma, boom, I ate 3 bananas. It works fine. Now, what if you want to join 2 strings? Well, you can use plus sign, you can run it, and boom, you got your output, but it doesn't have space. So you can just add space right here and run it, and boom, it works. Instead of adding, you can use a comma, and boom, it spaces it out automatically. Now you get what concatenation means and how print statement works. We will learn about variables. Variables are placeholders for storing data values. For example, in your math class, you probably have seen x equals to 5. Now, let's put that knowledge to some use. Variables are pretty easy to make. For example, you can just name it Pranjal. Or you can go number equals to 10. That's it. That's how you create a variable. This is a variable that stores a string, and this is a variable that stores an integer. And it is pretty easy to just print it. For variables, you never put quotations around. So let's just print the name. Boom, it prints the name right here. And what if you want to print the number? Well, it prints the number. Now you can concatenate these again with a comma. Let's say name, and then you can add some kind of string in the middle, like Pranjal got a 10. And then you can go on and write Pranjal got a 10 on his test, on anything, right? Let's just run this and see what happens. Well, perfect. Pranjal got a 10. That's what we inputted. Now we know how print statements and variables work. Now let's connect data types with them. Well, what if you want to find out what data type name is? You can just go print, because you want to output the data type, type, and then name. Type is basically a function that just spits out the type. And boom, class is string, str for string. Now you can change it, you can copy it, and you can put number in this. And we run it, and we have integer. And you can change this 10 to, let's say, 0.1. And boom, it becomes a float. You can even convert data types. For example, let's make this 17. And now you can add print. You always want to output it, so print. Now you're converting the 17, which is a string right now, to an integer. So int new number, add it to number. Let's see if this works. You should get 27, and boom, we got 27. And this strategy is useful when you get a user input, but the user input is a string, which we will learn in the next couple of videos. I want you to try it out for yourself. The task is you have to create 2 variables with different data types, and then you have to print to check their data types, and then concatenate or add and put them together, the 2 variables, and print it. Bonus is the code deals with 3 variables. That's it for today, and I thank you for watching YSL.